What would you do if the sun suddenly disappeared in the middle of the day? No warning. No explosion. No sound. Just darkness swallowing the sky. This isn't science fiction. It happened in America, and when it did, people thought it was the end of the world. Imagine the scene. May 19th, 1780. A seemingly ordinary morning across New England. Life was unfolding as it always had. Farmers were tilling their fields, children walking to school, merchants opening shops, preparing for another day in a young nation. But something felt profoundly wrong. As morning progressed, an unsettling change began to creep across the sky. It wasn't the familiar gray of a storm. The light became strange, a sickly orange, casting an eerie glow over everything. Birds, usually chirping merrily, fell silent. Their instincts sensed an anomaly. Farm animals grew restless. Cows began to wander back towards their barns, seeking shelter from an invisible threat. A primal emotion spread. Fear, a deep, inexplicable dread that something monumental was unfolding. By noon, the situation escalated into sheer terror. The sky didn't just darken. It plunged into an oppressive, absolute blackness. It mimicked midnight. People couldn't see more than a few feet in front of them. In homes and businesses, candles had to be lit, their flickering flames barely piercing the unnatural gloom. At 2 p.m., the world outside looked like the dead of night. The silence was broken only by the ringing of church bells, their mournful tolls echoing through the darkened towns. Families huddled, praying, convinced that the final judgment had arrived. This event was etched into history as the Dark Day. Panic spread like wildfire. Remember, this was 1780. No internet, no weather forecasts, no scientific explanations. Just overwhelming, terrifying darkness. People grappled for understanding, turning to the only frameworks they knew. Some believed God was punishing them for their sins. Others were convinced the apocalypse had begun. Many feared the sun itself had burned out, leaving humanity to perish in eternal night. In Hartford, Connecticut, the state legislature was in session when darkness descended. The chamber grew impossibly dark. Many lawmakers, gripped by terror, demanded the session be adjourned. They believed the end was truly near. But amidst the chaos, one man stood up. His name was Abraham Davenport, a respected judge and legislator. Davenport embodied the stoic resolve of the era. He famously declared, "If this is the day of judgment, I choose to be found doing my duty." He calmly called for candles, and the session continued. His unwavering commitment became a legendary tale, a beacon of reason against overwhelming fear. As night finally fell, something even stranger occurred. When the moon eventually appeared through the lingering haze, it wasn't the familiar silver orb. It was red, deep, ominous red. Imagine the psychological impact. A day plunged into pitch blackness, followed by a blood-red moon. For many, this confirmed their worst fears. It felt biblical, terrifying, supernatural, a sign of prophecies unfolding. For decades, the true cause of the Dark Day remained a profound mystery. Scientists and scholars debated endlessly. Some theorized it was a massive volcanic eruption. Others suggested a solar eclipse, though records showed no such event. Meteor impacts, strange atmospheric phenomena, or even supernatural causes were considered. The lack of explanation fueled fear. But modern science, with hindsight and advanced research, has finally given us a likely answer. It's less dramatic than divine intervention, yet still incredibly powerful, and a stark reminder of nature's force. Researchers now believe the darkness was caused by massive forest fires, specifically in the vast wilderness of what is now Ontario and Quebec, Canada. These were immense infernos that produced colossal amounts of smoke and ash. This enormous plume traveled south, pushed by unusual wind patterns that funneled it directly over New England. A unique combination of heavy cloud cover and thick fog acted like a lid, trapping the smoke close to the ground. The result was a perfect atmospheric disaster. Daytime truly turned into night, and the blood-red moon, that was likely due to the same smoke particles. When light from the moon passed through the dense smoke layer, shorter wavelengths were scattered away, while longer wavelengths penetrated through, giving the moon its terrifying crimson hue. It's similar to how we see red sunsets today, but amplified on a massive, unprecedented scale. Even though we now have a scientific explanation, think about the experience of someone living in 1780. Imagine a world without modern science, without instant communication. The sky goes black. Animals behave erratically. The moon turns blood red. No explanation, no news, no reassurance. Whose profound, terrifying darkness? Would you stay calm, or would you, like so many, believe the world was ending? Historians confirm that the Dark Day deeply affected early American communities. It reinforced religious beliefs, leading to increased church attendance and a renewed sense of piety. It became a story told for generations, the day the sun disappeared. It became an integral part of American folklore, a cautionary tale of nature's power and humanity's vulnerability. The timing couldn't have been worse. This event occurred just 5 years after the American Revolution began, a period of immense political and social instability. The psychological impact on a nascent nation was profound. Could it happen again? This is the part most people don't consider. Wildfires are becoming increasingly common and intense. Smoke from Canadian wildfires has already darkened skies across parts of the United States in recent years. In 2023, New York City experienced an eerie orange sky due to wildfire smoke, a stark reminder of the 1780 event. So yes, under the right conditions, day could turn into night again. Not because the sun disappears, but because nature is powerful, unpredictable, and, in many ways, fragile. The dark day reminds us of a crucial lesson. Human beings fear what they don't understand. Before science provides an explanation, phenomena can feel supernatural, impossible, apocalyptic. But often, the answer is natural. Still, that doesn't make it any less terrifying, because nature itself can be overwhelming, unpredictable, and humbling. So, imagine this. You're standing outside. It's noon. The sun is high, and suddenly, the light fades, the sky darkens, birds go silent. Your neighbors step outside, confusion turning to fear. Candles are lit in the middle of the day, and as evening approaches, the moon rises, blood red. What would you think? Was it science or the end? If this story surprised you, comment below. Would you panic or stay calm? And don't forget to like and subscribe because the next story might challenge everything you think is true.